What you doing?
Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. Bye, singing dog. Bye, goal.
I pronounce you.
Bye, wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really?
Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, kids. It's me, Finn. I'm back on my own chat corner. Yes, I am. I know that you all thought I was dead for like the last 2 weeks or so, but I just felt it necessary to obviously take some time off because, of course, I had to go and work and do what I'm doing right now in New York City. So excited to be hosting Carrie Lane today, who is a New York City young, up-and-coming musician. But before we get to her very quickly, because I know she's waiting on the line, I just wanted to send out a huge shout-out to 2 quick people. Actually, 3, I could stretch it. Kelsey O'Brien, you're the reason I came to New York. You're the reason I got those interviews, and you're the reason why I had such a wonderful time in New York City. So thank you so much to you. To Mr. John Gallagher, Director Extraordinaire of New York City, thank you as well to Sybil Santiago, who happens to be the creator and founder of the Soho Film Festival. I cannot thank you enough for the amount of effort and time you put into all of these endeavors. So thank you so much. So without further ado, because I don't want Carrie to hold on the line forever and think I'm never going to talk to her, let's get going with her interview and see what she's got to say. Carrie Lane.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Nervous, petrified. You scare me. I've watched your videos. I've seen your music, and Bridget tells me wonderful things. So I'm completely nervous to interview you. Totally nervous. So I hope you're okay.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm the least intimidating person in the world, if you ask anybody. But I appreciate it.
Well, this is a good thing. Oh, well, wonderful. Yes, absolutely wonderful. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things, obviously. Before we get into your music, I like to do a well-rounded interview, as I'm sure Bridget told you. So we're going to cover a bunch of different things. So before we actually commence our real chat, let's talk about this personal anthem that I see that you profess to follow on a regular basis, and I'm sure people have heard this before. It's a Jimi Hendrix thing, actually. It states, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. So here's my question to you. Has music in any manner, shape, or form, has that been therapeutic to you in your daily life in terms of times of tragedy, turbulence? How has that mantra been effective for you?
Well, music has always been a very central part of my life. As like a young kid growing up, it's always what I turned to as my outlet. Growing up in a house of like all sports kids, like my brothers played sports and, you know, they were very like active and my parents wanted me to get into that and it didn't really like click as an outlet for something that worked for me. So I started doing musical theater and from there on, whenever I was set or needed some sort of outlet when I was younger growing up, I would always sing. And I would always like play my guitar or the piano, and I would use that as a way for comfort. And anybody who knows me like knows I always have music on. Like music is everywhere in my life. I have it on 24/7. It just I don't know. It's kind of like my security blanket. I don't like when I'm
really?
not doing something involving music. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. And would we tend to, if we were sitting in your house right now, we're hanging out with Carrie Lane, would we be more inclined to watch her writing music or singing music or performing? Where is your love or passion, I should say?
I would definitely singing, definitely performing. Like if you walk into my apartment, it's like there's music stuff everywhere, like my piano, my guitar. I have like posters everywhere, like I have music books and all this kind of stuff. And like my radio, the second I walk in my house, I have my radio on. I'm singing. Like I it's hard for me not be making music. People always make fun of me. Like at work, I'm always singing. Like I never really stop. So, yeah, that's definitely where my passion would lie.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice. Okay, now we're going to do your interview a little bit different because normally I wait till like 3/4 of the interview to go to the personal points. And I always cover personal points because a lot of times people think that musicians are gods, so to speak. Like Carrie doesn't have a personal life because she's just a musician and all this good stuff. So we're going to talk about some things that I've noticed about you, observations that will probably make you blush. So prepare yourself accordingly. First of all, I've been on your Twitter account and I've creeped on your Facebook account and I've talked to people that know you. So this is what I find really funny because I'm like, you're a younger girl. And you coined this one phrase where it says, all girls are crazy, so pick your favorite type of crazy, which I love. And I get the sense of things I get is that cute little Carrie Lane doesn't have a boyfriend and she's out searching for love in big New York City. Would this be an accurate assessment? Because boys want to know. All the boys listening right now want to know.
Yeah, I am a single Pringle, if you will. It's funny. I have always been like this hopeless romantic and always been like searching for love and looking for it in, as my dad would say, all the wrong places. But yeah, that's funny. People always say that when they read my Twitter. They're like, Carrie, you need a man. I'm like, I'm looking. I'm trying. So yes, that's a very spot on observation.
Okay, so since you've already thrown that out there, we're going to give you 30 seconds. I'm just going to shut up and you're going to talk to all the boys out there. This is 30 seconds. I'm okay, 30 minutes. This is 30 seconds with Carrie Lane. And this is what she's looking for in a guy. Now go.
Okay, this is what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for someone who is a gentleman, very polite and respectful, and knows what he wants, is very career-driven, is very focused on what he's doing, someone who's funny and can make me laugh and I can have a good time with, and someone who's just genuine and is not afraid to be themselves. 30 seconds, did I do it?
Ooh.
Is that enough?
Oh, my God, look at her. She's totally like, I want this, I want this. I couldn't even do that. I'm like, I want Thor. Anyone that looks like Thor, anyone that has muscles like Thor, I'm kidding, of course not. I'm kind of, yeah, we won't even go there on my whole thing. Anything that resembles Thor. I know, I'm a freak, okay? What do you expect? I'm in radio, okay?
No, I like that answer, too.
Well, actually, Thor, I mean, in my business it's always difficult because, as I'm sure you can empathize with this, entertainment business, you meet all sorts of different, across the gamut, musicians and artists and things like that and all that good stuff. I'm very blessed that I know all those sorts of people. But truth be told, I'm more the girl who kind of scanters around looking for the kind of bad-looking boy with the tattoos, et cetera, et cetera. So stay away from those. You're young. I'm older and set in my ways. I'm like, I only want this. So there you go. So what can I say? But enough about love on the show, and let's move along. A few more things about Carrie. Apparently, I'm going out on a limb here, but I know that one of your personal favorites is Meghan Trainor. But who doesn't love Meghan Trainor? It's all about the base, your future husband girl, right? Love, love, love.
Yeah,
love
her.
Absolutely. I can tell everybody that you radiate both a silly yet passionate personality because I've watched your videos, I've listened to your work, I've seen kind of the backstory and some of this good stuff, which is nice. She's also a fan of Doctor Who, so you're kind of a sci-fi geek.
Yeah, I'm kind of an all-around geek.
Seriously,
I have some interesting hobbies. Yeah, my best friend and I, we watch Doctor Who religiously.
Really? And they still play that show? Seriously?
Yep, still on.
Really?
Like 1,000,005. Yep.
Okay. I gotcha. Wonderful. And then the other point I wanted to bring out here, because you got to help a girl out here, because guess who I'm interviewing tomorrow? None other than Edvin Ortega himself, who orchestrates the larger-than-life stuff. And you're going to the larger-than-life concert. So give me a little tidbit for tomorrow's show. Tell me a little bit about Edvin. Do you know him? Have you met him? Can you tell me anything?
Yeah, my video that actually just came out yesterday on my YouTube channel is Edvin's wedding. He just got married last week.
I know.
Yes. Yeah, so
shout out to Edvin. He's in love.
Yes, I love Edvin. Edvin is a creative soul. He not only is he really talented what he does, he's extremely smart when it comes to the business end. He creates this whole larger than life thing is an experience. It's crazy when you go to these concerts. People love it so much. It's this nonstop party, blast from the past. Everybody knows the words and they're amazing. Edvin's great. And he himself is, an incredible actor. I've been to a lot of his movie screenings, and he's great. I love him. So shout out to Edvin.
I know, right? We're shouting out to lots of people today because on this show, I'm allowed to shout out to anybody I want. Bridget O'Brien, thank you so much for hooking up me and Carrie. And, of course, Edvin, I'm very excited about as far as tomorrow goes. Now, I want to go backwards a little bit. I want to peruse your past just a wee bit. Now, cute little Carrie is a child, by the way, a child from Montclair, New Jersey, which is where she hails. You wooed as Wendy in Peter Pan. I know that. That was one of probably your earliest theatrical performances. And then, of course, you've traveled on to do additional theater. Question for you. Many of the people that have come on my show have stated to me that the characters that they capture in a proverbial, what they call a tiny theater as compared to like you're playing right now in your larger stages, etc., kind of encompass one's inner character. So my question to you is that when you're doing theater production, would we find more of the real you on a theater stage or up on the big stage now hopping around doing your pop rock?
Surprisingly, I would say more on the big stage now. What my journey was musical theater all growing up through about I would say about a year or two ago, and it was really like my comfort zone because the thing about theater is you get to embody somebody else's character, and it is true that a lot of who you are comes through when it comes to that character. No two people are ever going to play the same character exactly the same because you're two different people. You come from two different backgrounds and all of that. So when I started writing my own music, it was actually like kind of scary for me because it was like, okay, now I got to go up on the stage, and it's one thing to go up there and say, I'm playing Wendy, I'm playing her, I'm playing that. But when you go up there and you're like, I'm me, like that's super vulnerable because how people are going to react. It's like if you're the villain in a show, people aren't going to like you. If you're a good character, people are going to like you. But to just be yourself, it's like it's pretty nerve-wracking. It's like, I hope they like me. I hope they relate to me and think that I'm interesting and talented and funny and all that kind of stuff. So when you see me now, it's just me. It's just Carrie. And you just got to, be yourself and be genuine and hope that people connect with that.
Correct. And I do think that there's a relatability factor there. Oftentimes I notice in audiences, if you go to a performance, whether it's theater or music or otherwise, if they can relate to you or something that you do, something that you say, a message that you convey, they're more than likely to come back again and again and again. And in your case, right, and of course we've never formally met as of yet, so I'm going to go out on a limb by saying this, I'm going to gather or ascertain that you stand on the shy side at times. So I wanted to know, was it an adjustment for you? Because, of course, you go from being a smaller individual in terms of professionally, and now all of a sudden you're kind of the center of attention in front of an awestruck audience. How hard of an adjustment was that for you? Because you're still young and you're still working on other things. So how'd that work out for you?
Yeah, it's it's a big deal. It's pretty nerve-wracking for me. It was a really big adjustment, especially like all last summer when I toured. I was with my band on stage, and that was kind of like easing into it for me because I had three of like my best friends on stage with me, and like it was not like here I am by myself. But then I started doing a lot of appearances and traveling around the country by myself last fall, and it was like, it was kind of like I felt like Bambi a little bit, like kind of deer in the headlights. But now I really like, I'm getting more and more comfortable, and I think the key to being successful in that is to honestly just not try to be anybody else, just be yourself. People can sense when you're trying to like put on a front and like be somebody that you're not. If you're just genuine, people are going to relate to that, and they're going to attach to you, they're going to relate to you because they see that you're just who you are. And people really, it's a rare commodity nowadays. So I've just been really just trying to do that and just be who I am, and hopefully, people like that.
Oh, certainly. And, of course, obviously, and I'm not bragging because she's just my friend, but obviously Bridget is your publicist, Bridget O'Brien. And I guess what I'm wondering is, because I know the work that she does with her clients, and it kind of takes people from one extent in their career and automatically kind of launches things, if you will, to a certain extent, and gets you out into the mainstream and gets you all over the place. And it also gets you networking with fellow artists and things like that. Were you prepared for that? I mean, was it one day where you sat down with your parents and you're just like, you know what, this is what I want to do for my career. Let's go find a publicist and move along with that? Or how did you did you try to arrange all of this?
Yeah, I'd been working for a while on my own, and then I got into a point where I built enough of a career and a following that I needed someone to help me manage it and help me take it to the next level. So when I sought out Bridget, like, she was like a dream come true because she does like exactly what you would want for your career. Like, she like connects it and launches it in a million different directions. So like it was, even though it was what I wanted, it was still a bit overwhelming, to be honest, because you never really know, like, until you're in it, how much work it's going to be and how much you just have to juggle and manage. So I was definitely prepared because that's exactly like what I was looking for her to do. I was at a point where like I was traveling and touring, and I wanted to just expand my career, and she's been amazing. I love working with Bridget.
Most definitely, without a doubt. Now, one of the things that I wanted to mention, and this is a blanket question that I ask all the artists that come on my show, because you're of the younger generation. Back in the day, because I, of course, am double your age, so I'm an old lady. So back in the day when I was much younger, there was no invention of The Voice or American Idol and things like that. So because you're younger, I wanted to ask this question. Do you think that it's more beneficial that we have entities such as that now? Because in essence, basically people that go on American Idol or The Voice kind of get their careers launched, if you will, whereas back in the day we didn't have any of that. So it was, you just had to build a reputation and keep doing shows and keep going to places. So as a younger performer, my question to you is this. Do you think that the American Idols or the Voices of the world kind of help or hinder, meaning that, success is kind of garnished overnight instead of having to work like a regular working musician? Make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely like a blessing and a curse. I think some people who go on those shows are ready for a career, and it's the perfect exposure for them. Like they have built their own thing and are ready for people to know their name, and then are able to launch their own solo careers. But a lot of times people go on those shows and they're just like good singers, and they don't have their own like music or anything like that, and they just go on, and you can get kind of lost and misguided because it's such a huge entity, and as you said, you can be launched overnight. So I think it's a double-sided coin. I think it really depends on the person. I think it's an amazing opportunity for like the right person to go on there, who's built a career and is, ready for the industry. But some people go on there just so young and so green, and then it kind of just hits them, and they don't know what to do with like the fame and stuff that's happened. So, I really think it's very diverse, but it's very fun to watch. I love watching those shows.
No,
so.
I was just gonna say, and Adam Levine don't hurt on a bad day. Let me just say that.
No,
shout out to Adam Levine. Hottie Central. Where is this coming from today? Oh my God, I'm ridiculous. Sorry, I'm not always this bad. Bad day, bad headache. Great company though. We're doing pretty good so far. I want to switch gears a little bit, talk about a commonality that you and I both share, because, and this relates to writing, of course, obviously. Words to both of us are both a comfort and a compulsion in everyday life. Everything that's stated is a message of meaning, at least, from what I can tell between your songs, and, of course, I know from my writing, there's always a meaning and a message that comes with it. So 2 questions in reference to this. Do you feel personally that your words can effectuate change in society? And if so, in what manner? Do you think you can make a difference?
I think that really, like with the way that social media has taken off, young celebrities have become kind of like a mentor to young people. And like I see the way that like my fans who are basically like middle school, high school age really like look to me for advice and like as a guiding light essentially. So it's hard because sometimes I just want to like put out there on like Twitter, Instagram, like what a bad day I'm having, or like all this kind of stuff. And like I have to remind myself that it's good to tell them that like it's okay to have bad days, and it's okay to like get through them. And it's interesting because like I never thought that being in the spotlight would be something that was kind of a place where you could affect change. I thought people kind of just looked to you on a pedestal and expected you to be this like entity that was like greater than thou. But I have learned that more when I'm like real about who I am and what I'm going through with my fans, they can like relate to that and see that, oh, if she can get through it, like I can get through it. And like they'll come to me for advice on things, and they'll surprisingly enough, I think yes, I can affect the change. And I think that people might think that that's a little like naive or just wanting to fill really big shoes. But I think that it's something that's really important for a lot of people to know about young artists that are coming out, and that people who are young artists should know that you can affect change, and that you need to take the voice that you have and use it for positive change rather than all this other like negative energy that people are putting out and all this craziness. That if you have people looking to you, you automatically have a voice that matters. So you need to be able to take that responsibility essentially and use it for a positive change.
Very well put, I would have to say. Now, I wanted to ask, because I've been on your website before, and to those that are listening in that might not taken a look at CarrieLaneMusic.com, you have a section on there where you actually started blogging. Now, is that something that you're going to keep up with on a continual basis? And if so, what are you going to utilize within the course of your blog that will be helpful to your fans and followers?
Yeah, I just started it. I'm using it essentially mostly as like a travel blog. For like I'll be going on tour and playing a lot of dates this summer, and I've gotten to meet a lot of cool people, and I think really sometimes people just want to know that like I'm a real person, and like when I write in my blog, it's just kind of like who I am, what I do on a daily basis, and like, you know, I'm not just this person who like shoots music videos all day and is constantly like makeup, hair ready for photo shoots and video shoots. Like I go to like, you know, restaurants and hang out with my friends and my family and all this kind of stuff. And so I like to use my blog to essentially just write about who I am as a person versus who I am as an artist.
Gotcha. Now, before we move along, I had one other question relative to the writing side of things, because once again, obviously, I have the benefit of having a somewhat younger girl on the show. So I wanted to ask, because, of course, looking at today's top performers, because I'm not as much in tune, per se, with some of the younger artists that are out there. Tell me a little bit about you, the kids your age, et cetera, and some of the performers that are out there that are within your age bracket, per se. Do you think that most of your crowd is kind of gravitating to strictly melody versus meaning that obviously they're just there to go dance, listen to the sound that's it, or are kids really still looking for a message within the music?
I sadly think we are in a catchy, melody-dominated industry right now. And I think you need to be able to grab the audience with that now, and then you can, like, promote a message. Because you have people like Ed Sheeran who write, like, these, like, beautiful lyrics.
Right.
But he had to get where he was writing pop music. Like, now you'll hear on the radio some of his more, like, indie singer-songwriter stuff, but he couldn't come out with that first because he needed to attract an audience at first. So I think people really are looking for catchy, interesting things, and then I think once you have an audience, then you can release some more, like, lyric-driven stuff. But it's hard because right now here's the thing, there's so many artists and there's so much music out there that, like, people just want to, like, be caught by the music. They're not going to just, like, it's sad. There's, like, such a short attention span for what people are going to listen to. Like, you need to be able to grab the audience, and usually that's with, like, a catchy beat or a hook or something like that, and then you can get into something deeper because there are just so many things people don't want to search. They just want to be told, like, this is what's popular, like, this is what's going to be a good song. So it's hard. It's definitely hard, especially for people who are really lyric, singer-songwriter based in the industry right now.
Difficult. It is. It's difficult and trying and challenging, I know, because obviously there's a lot of songwriters out there that have messages that kind of get lost in the shuffle of the whole mainstream sort of we just want this sort of thing. So I know what you're talking about there. I'm going to switch you around a little bit. To those that are listening or listen on a regular basis, you already know that I myself have a daughter that's relatively close to your age that's attending college while managing multiple jobs as well. Carrie herself, as I understand it, correct me if I'm mistaken, aren't you a recent attendee of New York University? You just enrolled, or you've been enrolled? I just want to clarify.
I've been at NYU for 3 years now.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so you're managing the music, of course, while attending NYU. So I had a question relative to that. Do you feel that your constant fluctuating of fields back and forth kind of has taught you how to have better life balance with becoming a young adult? Because I think it kind of prepares you, in essence, when you're juggling. And the other question being is, how successfully do you feel you're juggling it? Or are there just more times than not where you're like, oh, my God, I'm done. I can't deal with this anymore, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely hard because I'm trying to wear so many hats and please a bunch of different people. I have to often, like, remind myself to recenter and remind myself, like, why I'm doing music and that I love it. And it's hard because sometimes you can treat music like a job the same way that I treat the job that I go to and the way that I treat school. And then you have to just take a second and breathe and be like, this should not be an obligation or a duty. This is what I love and this is my passion. And so sometimes, like, when I'm, like, making music videos and I'm tired and, you know, I've been at school or I've been working, like, a double shift, I just, like, I love doing the music. Like, so I just have to remember, like, exactly, like, that's why I'm doing it. So definitely, like, I definitely fail. I probably fail and readjust all the time. It's not an exact science, and it's never going to be a perfect balance. You just have to accept that and realize that it's okay to keep readjusting and keep reevaluating where you're at.
definitely. And I know that I've talked to other artists that have been on the show, so I'm curious in your take on this, because obviously, like you said, you're attending New York University. So are you a regular Carrie Lane at school, or is it, oh, there's Carrie Lane, and she's this big singer, and da-da-da-da-da? Are you able to have some normalcy while attending school, or is it just become...
I'm definitely a regular at NYU, because you have to think about, like, the type of people who go to NYU. Like, Dylan and Cole Sprouse just graduated, who are Zach and Cody, and, like, Mary-Kate and Ashley went there. So, like, maybe if I was in, like, a smaller, like, suburban school, it would be a little different. But, like, the thing about NYU is basically, like, everyone there is chasing their dreams, especially, like, in Tisch. Like, everyone's trying to be a singer or on Broadway or a dancer. So it's like I'm impressed by a lot of the people that I go to school with in terms of what they're doing with their careers. So it's more like a mutual admiration that's going on usually.
Nice, very nice. It's good to hear, actually. And so what's your major going to be in? I'm just curious now. Now I'm just, like, being nosy. So what are you majoring in?
I'm studying childhood and special education development with a minor in American Sign Language.
Oh, nice. Okay, so my question to you is this, because obviously that sounds like a fascinating career. So my question is, are you going to be able to utilize that background, do you feel, or is it something that you'll have to explore, like you're going to graduate and then say, okay, I'll have my focus on music, or balancing both, or what's the long-range plan in terms of that?
Music is my dream. It's my goal at the moment. It's what I'm focused on. I think sometimes if you allow yourself to let your plan B become such a big part of your life, then you're kind of settling on your plan B. So I definitely am setting myself up so that I have a career and I have a degree as a backup plan if that's what I choose to do, and if at any time I feel like that's the path that I want to choose. But right now, music is definitely my focus and my goal and what I want to do with the rest of my life.
You're a very structured, organized girl. You have your stuff together. I'm very impressed. Just throwing that out there. Isn't she an impressive guest? I could see her blushing all the way across the phone. It's okay. I blush all the time. And twice on Monday. I want to talk a little bit about your side occupations, because there are those who are listening who have probably never even heard of Carrie Lane. But two of the things that I know that you do, or have done, I should say, and we want to talk about that a little bit, is I know that you've served as a model for MSA Models. And second of all, you were named as the face of, and forgive me if I mispronounced the word, Bangs. It's B-A-N-G-S, so Bangs. So talk to me a little bit about how often or regularly are you able to do modeling, or is this something you wish to do on an ongoing basis? And then second of all, tell us how you ended up becoming the face of Bangs.
Well, I used to do a lot more modeling, honestly, like about a year or two ago when I first signed with them. I'm just doing so many things right now that it's hard for me to constantly go on go-sees and do photo shoots and stuff. But there are a couple companies that I work with consistently that I love. And then also Face of Bangs is a salon in the town that I'm from, and they held like a beauty competition where you're able to donate a portion of your winnings to charity. So that was something that I was definitely interested in doing. And I'd never really done like a beauty competition type thing. So everyone who knows me, like, I love just trying new things and doing new things all the time. So I was like, hey, I've never done a beauty contest. Why not? So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Very neat. Boys, did you hear that? All you single kids that are like 20-something, did you just hear that? Beauty pageant, modeling, ding, ding, she can sing and she's pretty. Duh, it's a no-brainer. Sorry, I'm just trying to promote your next date, and then you can call and thank me and say, Cindy, thank you.
I will. I will. If I get a date out of this interview, man, I'll tweet all about it.
There have been some things that have been known to happen from these shows, so let me tell you, weirder things have happened. But I'm no Patty Stanger. I'm no millionaire matchmaker babe. I'm just radio. So what can I say? Now we're going to turn our gears once again, and we're going to go to what I call the Carrie Charity chat area. So we're going to talk about a few different things that this young lady has done that has been beneficial not just to herself, but to legions of people out there. First of all, I know that you performed at the Make a Difference concert for the benefit of Family Promise. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell the folks who are listening in what Family Promise is and what was your motivation behind offering your services, I should say talents, to that concert?
Yeah, I have worked with Mich, who runs the Make a Difference concert for a while. Her daughter has been in a couple of my music videos, and I've always wanted to work with them in terms of charity. I do a lot of charity work. I've worked with Sound Effects, which is a cancer organization, And I work with JDRF, which is the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. It's honestly just like I think if you can donate your time in a great way, like all the people who did the Mad concert were all artists like about my age who we just all donated our time to, all the ticket sales went to make a difference. It was just like, it was nice. It was, for once, like sometimes the industry can be really rigid and like jaded, and you're like, okay, all these people are doing this concert, like, and everyone's got like an ego and whatever. And it was just nice because it was all kids donating their time so that money could go to charity, and like it was just all the people who attended their concert was really nice. It was a lovely event. Denise Riccotti is a great woman, and she runs a great charity.
Oh, that's awesome. That should be somebody that should be on my radio show. Note to self. We need to get her on the radio show. I would like, secondly, to discuss, of course, I know that you are an ongoing supporter of what they call Sound Effects, and that's AFFECTS, which is basically an effort that uses crowdfunding to, of course, find cancer solutions. So tell me why that's near and dear to your heart, and why are you such a background supporter of that?
It's interesting. Cancer is just such a hot topic right now, and research for it is so important. And I think that the way that Sound Effects is going about raising money, which is different than other organizations, it's going straight to funding, which is like very different, which people don't understand. That like a lot of medical research companies, that's not how they work. So Sound Effects is really just doing something good out of like the goodness of their heart, and the people that run it are great. And I got to perform at one of their fundraisers with Ricky German, who's a singer from New York City as well. And just they have a lot of great artists that are supporting it, and great people who are, constantly working and trying to find new ways to, spread the word about how research should be done when it comes to finding cures for different diseases. And I think Sound Effects is great. I'm really lucky to work with a lot of the different people that I work with, and a lot of that has to do with working with Bridget, because she's so well versed and connected with all these different.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just last weekend I performed at the My Brother Vinny Walk, which is for finding homes for veterans. Like, it's just all across the board, all different types of stuff, which is great. It's not just like one thing. I feel like, as you were saying before, is there a way that I can make a difference with what I'm doing? And if people are interested in having me come and perform so that, the word is spread a little bit, or tickets are sold or whatever, I'm more than happy to do that. I love that. I think it's really important.
Yeah, I was just going to say, which begs to ask me the next question, because some that are listening that might not know this is that you yourself are an ongoing, as I understand, a juvenile diabetic patient. Little known fact by those that are listening, and my mother was actually diagnosed at 16 or 18, so she's 60-something now, so she herself is a long-time patient as well. So actually two questions relative to this. First off, do the impediments of illness ever affect you in terms of either playing or performances, etc.? And then second of all, do you ever envision yourself formulating a foundation, an event, etc., relative to juvenile diabetes?
Right. Well, I've been a juvenile diabetic for 13 years, so it's definitely had its ups and downs. Diabetes is a daily fight. It's something that I manage on a day-to-day basis, and I've definitely thought about doing a foundation. There was a girl I went to high school with who had her own foundation who was also diabetic, and she and I have talked a lot, and I'm definitely interested in, doing what, right now I'm just helping out with JDRF, which is the largest juvenile diabetes foundation, but I've always thought about maybe starting something on my own and, doing what I can to help out in maybe a different way, maybe involving like artists or, a different spin to charity. So, yeah, no, that's definitely something that's very, very prevalent and very important to me.
Wonderful. That's what I thought, actually. And if there's one thing that you could convey to people that are listening in today, because oftentimes we are confronted with individuals who have illness, disease, etc., and it's difficult. I have a dear friend of mine who has diabetes, and the blood sugar goes up and down all the time, and I wonder to myself, is there anything that we, the outsider, can do to help you, or in some ways just do something that will affect you in a positive manner?
Just having the support of friends and family is very important. People don't realize how, sometimes it gets really frustrating when your body just doesn't work the way that you want it to, and sometimes you just need, your friend or your mom or anyone to just, like, tell you that, like, it's okay and it's okay for things not to be perfect and that you'll manage them and that you'll get better. So just, kind words and support from loved ones really just goes a long way when it comes to that kind of thing.
Sure. I imagine so. Well, thank you. All right, well, let's talk about your music because you are a musician and you are on the show. So we should probably talk a little bit about Carrie Lane music. So let's do just that. I'm going to start off with the video side of things because I've been very fortunate enough to have viewed all your different forms of video work, whether it's, of course, your originals and, of course, Carrie does covers as well. Now, I understand that one of your producing partners is the Grammy winner, which is Jared Zelia. Now, in his scope of service, does he just write with you? Does he produce everything, including all your videos? Tell me his interaction and relationship with you.
He actually was the executive producer on my EP, which is going to be coming out on June 30th. He wrote a lot of the songs with me. He was in the studio, and he helped produce that music. He's someone who I started writing with when I first started writing my own music and was a big part of the original side of the work that I do.
Gotcha. Okay, because I was watching all these different videos, and the two things that just resonate through both of them, it's like he's got a sense of freedom and just fun. It's like you just don't take yourself very seriously. You're just like, we're going to shoot this. I'm no diva. You're just very free with yourself, and it looks like you're just having so much fun all the time, and I envy that. I'm like, oh, my God, I would love to be like that all the time. But you're young and I'm old, so that makes a lot of sense.
You're not old. No, that's not true. Yeah, I'm blessed right now to have creative control over my videos and that I get to produce them along with the person who shoots my videos and produces them with me is Allison Valletta, and she's one of my best friends. So it's great. We have a blast shooting the videos, and we get to just try different things, and, not everything is going to come out, perfect or exactly the way that we thought it would, but I love trying new things, as I said before, and just, being myself and seeing where that takes me.
Very cool. Now, I know you instituted something very recently, so I want you to talk to the folks that are listening in about, you instituted what you call the Ask Carrie video. So tell everybody what that's about, how they can get involved with being a part of that.
Oh, yeah, that's actually going to be next Monday's video. So until Thursday, if you tweet or write on Facebook or Instagram and hashtag #AskCarrie, we're going to be doing it's actually really funny the way that we're going to be doing the video. So we're going to we have a bowl of all the questions that everyone's going to be asking, so we're going to pick them randomly. And what we're going to do is we're doing kind of like a newlywed style kind of thing. My band members are going to be in the video, and we're going to take the questions that you ask and see how many of them they can match to mine, if that makes sense. So, like, if the question someone tweets, what's your favorite color, they're going to hold up an answer, and I'm going to hold up an answer. We're going to see how well my band members know me. Just a little spin on the Ask Carrie rather than me just sitting in front of the camera and answering your questions. We're going to see also if they can answer the questions, too. So we've been getting some pretty funny questions. I'm really excited to shoot that video this week.
Very, very neat, actually. Now, before we move on to talking about the actual songs and music itself, I had a quick question for you. If I were to ask you the number one person out in the music industry right now that you would want to perform with, who would it be and why?
It would definitely be Taylor Swift, and because she is just my all-around role model when it comes to who she is in the industry, as a musician, as a personality, as a role model. I think she's great. I love her. That's all I have to say about
really?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I do.
Look at that. I got it. I keep saying Cher like every week. I'm like, Cher, I just want you to come on my show. And funny how it never happens. I've been asking her, I think, like every week for like half my life, and she's still not getting back to me. I have to get a hold of her people. So maybe if you get famous one day, you could just be like, I know this little radio person who adores you, so go on her show. Just throwing that out there.
Yes, absolutely. I love Cher too. So that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's talk on a very serious note. One of my absolute favorite songs and videos that you do is called Don't Stand By, Don't Stand Up. Obviously, of course, the big message behind that is, of course, the entire subject of bullying. So talk to me a little bit about how bullying has influenced or impacted your life. Tell me how you came up with this song.
Well, bullying was always, like, a hot topic for my later years. It wasn't that like big growing up in schools. Bullying wasn't like I don't know. It was kind of like turn the other cheek. People didn't really, administrators, teachers, it wasn't really an issue that was at the forefront of what's going on. And as I grew up, it became bigger and bigger. And then recently, all over my Twitter and with fans and stuff like that, I've just been asked so many questions about all these people. You know, how do I deal with someone saying this to me at school? I'm getting bullied online. I don't know what to do. And my advice to them is all like, it's always you have to say something. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to be the bigger person. Get help. It's okay. And I was like, you know what? I think that there should be some sort of anthem to this. Like, you don't have to take it. Like, don't stand by. Like, stand up for yourself. So I remember tweeting that and like getting a big response for that across the board. And I was like, this would be a great song. So
right.
Yeah, I kind of wrote it as a just like as a message of support to the people that, you know, support me every day. I want them to know that I'm there for them. And a big issue that's going on in a lot of their lives at the forefront of a lot of teenagers right now is bullying. And, you know, they're struggling with going to school and just like surviving day to day because of bullying. And it's like, you know, I want to help. So that's where the inspiration for that song came from.
Wonderful. And then, of course, obviously the one that we're about to play shortly, of course, is Love Tonight. But I have to mention this to you on a side note because I have 4 children, and my 2 little boys were at home with me, and I was researching you the other day, and so all of a sudden we're going through your videos, and they're watching all of this and giggling, of course, as little boys would do. And they just absolutely loved the Jingle Bell Rock version you did. They were like, oh, my God, Mom, that's so cool. And I'm like, okay, when I interview her, I'll tell her, you have little fans that are 8 and 10 years old all the way in Wisconsin that are like, we love her Jingle Bell Rock. So you should do more Christmas.
That's so sweet.
They dig it.
Thank
They
you.
do. They dig it. Yeah. Now, before I play Love Tonight, which is the song we're going to be listening to, because all of you that are listening in should be able to listen to what Carrie sounds like, if there was one particular, for lack of the play on words, cover you wish to cover, which one would it be? Because I've seen you do Meghan Trainor. I've seen you do some of the other newer artists.
Oh, wow.
What would you want to cover? That's not a good answer. Think of something.
I know. Well, the thing is that luckily right now I get to choose which songs that I cover. So usually when they come out and I want to, I get to do it. But I don't. It's a hard one. I really want to do like a throwback song and like try to get that popular again with like, because like a lot of songs. It was funny when Missy Elliott performed on the Super Bowl. A lot of my friends were like, who is that? Who is this new artist? What's this song? And I was like, oh, gosh, they don't know that Missy Elliott, who that is. They don't know that this song is like 10 years old. So I'm thinking of maybe doing like a popular song from like 10, 15 years ago and bringing it back, seeing if we can make it cool again. I haven't picked one yet, but I think that's going to be in the upcoming weeks. Definitely going to do a throwback.
Well, I'm going to shut up for about almost 3 minutes here, and I'll let Carrie have a rest. I'm going to let you listen to her music. This is a beautifully, beautiful song called Love.
Are you ready?
Do you want to come with me? I can show you everything. You be the king and I'll be queen. I swear that I'll be paid. Picking up on your dark side. Baby, what you got to hide? Yeah, you'll stand so high. Listen to the song. Do you want it now? Somebody that take my hand and
fact, most of the songs that you create are really that pop rock sort of get up, dance, move around, all that good stuff. Do you think that over time you're either going to gravitate in one direction or the other? Like sometimes musicians will say, okay, I just want to play fun music all the time and it's always pop rock sort of thing, or lighter, versus some of the other artists that eventually just take that dramatic turn and they're like, I want to do very serious work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, as I was saying before, I think this is kind of like my way of breaking into the industry, and then hopefully I'll get to write a little bit more of what I'm into, which is like I love this kind of music. I love pop music. I love rock music. But I also like kind of more stripped down acoustic music, and I would love the opportunity to be able to write like that. And I do write like that by myself all the time, but I'm interested in releasing a little bit more of that as my career continues to evolve.
Over time, because you've got a long way to go. I can see you in stadiums and sellouts and all the stuff, and I can see kids dancing around, and it would be like almost like an old Woodstock, if you will, only a new version. I'm like, she would totally be you would be awesome if they did a modern day kind of Woodstock thing. I'm like, I could totally see that. You're like a gypsy girl in my head, so to speak. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about, a couple different items here. First off, let's talk a little bit about tour life, because oftentimes what happens is I think that people, when they look at musicians, they think, oh, my God, how exciting is this to go on tour with somebody? So I want to preface two different things. I know you've done the Godtimes Fest in Nashville, and, of course, you were on the Winter Lights tour with both Sammy Wilkinson and Taylor Caniff, and that was in L.A. and Phoenix. So talk to us a little bit about, because you're younger, and, of course, being on a tour with not only recognizable individuals, but moreover, is there a downside to the touring? Because people don't realize you're going place to place. There's never downtime. Do you know what I'm saying? Talk a little bit about that kind of life and how that varies from what you're used to right now.
Yeah, well, I get to travel with my band, so it's if people think it's a luxury, I travel with, 3 stinky boys in their late 20s.
Isn't that glamorous, folks? Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah. See, I love them to death, but, living with boys on tour is not always that fun. Tour is great. Tour is as exciting as people think it is, but it is also so exhausting. And you're going, you finish playing a show, and then you're on the road next morning, and you're sound checking, and you're loading in, you're playing a show, and, you get off days, but when you continue to play, it's not all fun and games. It's definitely tiring. You got to pace yourself, especially if you're out on the road for a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny, but because when people ask me that, they're like, yeah, there's got to be a downtime. Like, there is, but also, touring is awesome, and it's the best, and it's just like how you see in the movies. So,
I imagine.
Yeah. I also love to travel, so, just getting to see different parts of it. I've gotten to go all around the country at this point, so just getting to meet different people and see what's like in different places is just really exciting.
Gotcha, of course. And I'm assuming, of course, that one of your ultimate goals somewhere down the line is, are you going to eventually formulate your own tour, be the headliner, all that good stuff, or do you think that's something that's just kind of back burner for right now until you get more established?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that's interesting to me. I would love, before getting into, I would say a goal of mine ahead of headlining my own tour would definitely be traveling internationally. I would love to go overseas and play. That's definitely the next step for me and something that I'm interested in.
Gotcha. I understand. Okay. Now, the last thing that I wanted to mention to folks, which is, of course, I'm personally disappointed because Bridget just invited me this last night because I know, of course, you have your concert, which we're about to talk about, and my boys are just coming back from vacation the day you have it. And I'm like, I'm so frustrated because I would love to go and see Carrie Lane because, of course, the debut of your EP is going to take place on June 30th from 7 to 10, and that's at Stitch Lounge. I love the name, which is, of course, Bows Before Bros, which I absolutely love that. And just to let everybody know, the tickets are $12 for a general admission ticket, otherwise $20 for the VIP. So talk a little bit about what we can expect at that event. Are tickets still available, and what's included with the VIP package?
Yes, tickets are still available. It's going to be great. We're going to play the full EP, full band. So not only is it going to be a party, it's going to be a red carpet event. There's going to be drinks and dancing and food, pictures, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot of great sponsors.
Cool.
And some surprise guests there. Yeah, but we're gonna play the full set, which is gonna be awesome. Because who doesn't love live music at a party? So it's gonna be really great.
Right?
With the VIP, you get VIP seating when it comes to the show, and then you get a photo session with me on the red carpet, a meet and greet, and signed poster and CD. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see so many people there. I think it's going to be great, and I'm really excited for the full EP to come out for people that have it.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, now we just have a couple quick things to cover here before I finally let you go. I'm going to go through a rundown of all of the different places that people can find you. So if you want to listen in real quick, let me know if I forget anything. Carrie, of course, has a Facebook, Carrie Lane Music, of course, and you have a personal page as well. Your website, carrielanemusic.com. Twitter handle is @CarrieLaneMusic. Same thing for your Instagram account, which is Carrie Lane Music. Facebook for Sound Effects, which is, of course, the organization that you support. Again, it's Sound and Effects, AFFECTS. Your music can be found on YouTube, Reverb Nation, iTunes, The 61, and Last.fm. Any other places people can find you?
You can also find my music on Spotify and on Bandcamp.
Got it.
And, I think, other than that, I think you got them all.
Awesome. I actually did my job. Woohoo! Okay, we only got 2 more things to cover here, and I will let you get back to your day. The first of which is I want to throw a proposition out to you. Bridget O'Brien is going to kill me after I do this. She's going to kill me. You probably would like this idea, but I can already see the look on her face like, oh, my God, did she just do that with all these people listening? But I'm going to go there, and I'm going to do it right now. So I was sitting here during our interview, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? This is a really, really good idea. So let's do this, shall we? Carrie Lane's a musician. I'm in radio. I know a lot of people. You know a lot of people. Bridget knows a lot of people. So here's what I think we should do. I think between the 3 of our heads, we should put together a venue and a place. I will come there to New York City. I will get all of my little friends, including my celebrity friends, to come together. I'll even bring along with me some of my friends if the spirit moves me and I can get them. And let's say that we'll do that. We'll do a live interview there. We'll have you do live music. I'll do myself a little book signing there. And then I'll turn around and kick back, let's just say 40%, if not more than that, to juvenile diabetes. How about that?
I think that's amazing. I love that idea. I think that'd be great.
I know she's going to kill me, though. I can see her face right now. She's going to be like, oh, my God, I don't have enough to do. Now I have to plan another event. She's going to kill me. That's all right, because you know what? She can deal with me later. I'm interviewing 3 of her clients this week, so what's she going to do, get mad at me? I think not. That's my proposition to you.
I think that's a great idea.
I definitely think it's a wonderful idea, and I try to do what I can to try to influence in terms of getting my friends to all collaborate with one another and to do things for good purpose. And, of course, as I mentioned, my mother, of course, is a juvenile diabetes patient herself. So, of course, it stands to reason that I should step up and do something. So I'd be more than happy to have all 3 of us merge our heads together and do something for the benefit of good. Now, the very last thing I do on this show, of course, is I get an opportunity to tell you, the guest, what I think of you, Carrie Lane. So just sit back for 60 seconds. I'm going to give you my assessment of you, and then I'll let you get back to your day if that sounds all right.
All right, sounds good.
So these are my impressions of little Miss Carrie Lane. I have to tell you that my introduction to Carrie Lane was, go look on Facebook and check this girl out. That's what Bridget says to me. So I go onto Facebook and I look at her and I think to myself, oh, my God, this girl's like 14 years old. She looks so young. She's so short. She's got this cute little smile about her. And I'm like, you know what? I can't wait to hear her voice because I'm thinking she's so young and maybe not seasoned. So I turned on your music videos and I listened to this beautiful sound just resonate from your mouth. That bullying song got me just like that. The first thing I ever noticed about you was she has purpose, she has passion, and she has meaning to her music. And at such a young age, I can't even begin to tell you how inspiring it is to meet a girl who actually finds purpose and meaning to something that she does. You're bouncy and you're fun and you're vibrant and you're cute. I've seen you saunter across the stage and you command attention from your audience. You don't just idly stand there and wait for them to react to you. You react to them and you make them react back. You're very good with positioning yourself in front of an audience, making them stand up, making them make a difference, making them have a wonderful, enjoyable experience while they're at a concert. one of the nicest things that I admire about you is the fact that you have a great head on your shoulders. You've made the educated decision to pursue education, to pursue an alternative career, just in case your passion as a musician does not work out. For that, I give you the immense amount of credit. The fact that you wake up every morning and you have to live with a debilitating disease, one step further on my level of respect for you. My hope is that one day I'll be able to stand in a room next to you and say, I knew her when she was up and coming, and I had no doubt whatsoever, and I can say this without clarity. I think you'll be an amazing spirit, an amazing gypsy talent that the world will gravitate to, not only in New York City, but across the country. And I wish you nothing but success. And, of course, if I can help you with one event or 10 events, know that I will. And I thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Are you okay? I'm like,
yeah.
Still there? Did I do something? Yay!
No.
This is good. So it was absolutely wonderful. I think you need to get on your publicist, let her know you just did a radio show where I just committed all of us to an event, which I'm sure she'll hate me and never talk to me again. But it's for the benefit of you and many others. And like I said, I can't thank you enough for the time you've given me. I really appreciate it. And I do look forward to meeting you in person one day.
Sounds good. All right. You have a great day.
Thank you, my dear. You do the same. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Amazing, inspiring, and lovely she is. Little Miss Carrie Lane. Just to remind everybody again, Facebook page, Carrie Lane Music. CarrieLaneMusic.com is the website. Twitter handle is @CarrieLaneMusic. Instagram is also Carrie Lane Music. And, of course, Facebook, the organization she supports, once again, is called Sound, and it's Affects, AFFECTS. Once again, her music, YouTube, Reverb Nation, iTunes, The 61, Last.fm, Spotify, and Bandcamp if you want to listen to any and all music. And I want to remind everybody, upcoming concert, a.k.a. debut of her EP, and, of course, it's Bows Before Bros, and it's a red carpet event, June 30th from 7 to 10 o'clock, and that's at the Stitch Lounge in New York City. Regular general admission tickets being $12, and, of course, for the VIP package, you're looking at $20. Couple quick things on the docket here before I let everybody go. Let's talk about the rest of my show schedule this week. Tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time, we're looking at Edvin Ortega, that's known as his acting role in Orange is the New Black, which is that Netflix series that I've only seen once or twice, but I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with the content of that. Thursday, we're looking at fashion designer Jana L., and that's E-L-E, if you want to go ahead and check her out. She will be on the show, and that will be at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time on the 28th, which is Thursday. And then we round out the rest of my week with New York City award-winning actress Sarah Seeds, and that's 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, of course, that's obviously on the Sin Chat Corner handle. The Biker Show, just to remind everybody, Sun Spotlight is still in existence, but because I have now penciled my time to do my all-female biker documentary, it's kind of taken the forefront. So, unfortunately, I have less time for biker interviews on air because, of course, I'm doing biker interviews in a film. And then as it relates to the Canadian Connection show, we will be getting reconnected with that next week, if I'm not mistaken. So listening for details on that. I also wanted to remind everybody that I'll be on air this week, next week, and the following week. And then starting the 16th or 17th of this month, after the 17th, I will be taking another hiatus. My children are leaving for 2 weeks, so I'm going to be actually working and traveling and just getting caught up with people and such. So therefore, we'll be taking one more hiatus, and I will be back on air to the best of my knowledge till the end of the year. Also want to remind everybody, CHAP, Sin's Heart, Art, and Passion, that would be the new storefront. As we all know, I just had my May 10th opening, shut down to go to the Soho Film Festival. We are back up and rolling this week. Go to the page, Facebook page, which is CHAP Boutique, which is all one word. There I will post today all of my hours, days and times that I will be there. And, of course, if you want to see me, come during those times. Otherwise, my oldest and dearest friend, Sheila Tyler Giovanni, will be manning the storefront for me in my absence. So please make it a point to come down and check out every single bit of handmade art that I have there. We will also have live music there, of course, from local live musicians. And, of course, we'll be doing theater twice a week. And that's actually all independent shorts and films. So please do your best to support arts in the neighborhood. I know I appreciate it. I know all of my artists would appreciate it, everybody that's in the storefront. We just appreciate your support and, of course, your patience while waiting for me to get my ass back home to open up the store. Two more detailed. I just wanted to once again say thank you so very much to everybody that supports my show when I'm on hiatus, when I'm not on hiatus. The fact that you listen in and the fact that you support myself as well as every person that comes on this show. I can never, ever, ever capture the amount of appreciation in words. So I'm just here to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without you, I wouldn't have a show. Without the people that come on the show, I wouldn't have anybody to talk to. So honestly, thank you for giving me a platform of purpose and meaning and a means to be able to use my words for good. So thank you. The very last thing is once again, another big thank you to everybody who's been sending me text messages, email messages, Facebook messages, any person that's reached out in reference to the last month or so. I know that I have been very quiet, and I know that I've been very non-disclosing, if you will, on Facebook, and there are reasons for that. I appreciate the fact that you're respecting my need for privacy at this moment in time, and the only thing that I can say is that I appreciate your existence and your presence in my life. And I would appreciate it if you would just keep sending good thoughts and prayers to me and, of course, to my family during this time. So thanks again for listening. Again, reminder one more time, Edmund Ortega, tomorrow, noon Central Standard Time. Thanks so much again to Carrie Lane for her time on the show. And as always, Bridget O'Brien, thank you so much for bringing me another wonderful time. You all have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
What you doing?
Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. By singing dog. By goal.
I pronounce you.
By wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really?
Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.
What you doing?
Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. By singing dog. By goal.
I pronounce you.
By wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really?
Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.